Hi everyone. So I decided to do a recent read for 3 books that I've read recently. The first one is going to be Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now this is my first by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I ended up giving this a 3-star rating. This book has 2 timelines. There's a past and a present. The present takes span over about a 24-hour time period, and the book is split in 2 parts. The first part is the first 12 hours, the second part is the last 12 hours. The past timeline spans multiple years and focuses on 2 main generations of people with an optional third. I gave this 3 stars for a couple of reasons. One, it was a fairly fast-paced book that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the twists and turns. I enjoyed the discussion on in which ways in life does money change things, and in the ways that money doesn't necessarily bring happiness, but it can change your circumstances. What I found is that the 2 timelines weren't equally developed. The past timeline was was much slower paced than the present timeline. I love the present timeline, but I don't think the present timeline would have been as impactful if you didn't have the past timeline. I did find that they were pretty easy to keep separated. My biggest complaint though is the big aha, like climax, action-packed moment. That was way too rushed. The last 25% of the book introduced way too many characters, too many things were going on, and there wasn't enough time to sit with it to make it as impactful as it could have been. But I still really enjoyed it, and I do want to pick up more from this author. I just don't know where is like a good second book from her. Then we have a DNF, and this is No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell, Turnbull. I got a little over 50% of the way through. I did get an e-copy of this for review, and here's the thing. It is incredibly smartly written. I enjoyed the conversation, particularly at the front half of the book and within one of the POVs. It was a commentary on the problems going on in our society today. It is a fantasy, and it does bring in various different types of monsters. If you're a werewolf fan, you might particularly enjoy this. I just felt like it tried to do too much. It was too pretentious, too many POVs, and I think it would have been better had it been simplified and only focused on 1 or 2, or maybe not have been a fantasy book and actually been in the real world, because the strength of this book was the social commentary. However, because so much was going on, it was very easy to get lost and confused, and then it made, once you put down the book, you didn't feel like picking it up because it was an exhausting read. And so this missed the mark for me. I gave it 2 stars as opposed to 1 because I could have finished it. 1, it wasn't offensive in any way. I enjoyed some of the things it did. It, in all honesty, just wasn't for me, and it was way too much. The last book I want to talk about, it is geared toward children, and I think that anybody can enjoy this. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and this is Living Ghost and Mischievous Monsters, Chilling American Indian Ghost Stories by Dan SaSuWeh Jones, who is a Native American. I don't remember the tribe that he's from or the nation that he's from off the top of my head, but it is a US based North American Native American group. It features nations from both Canada and Mexico, but predominantly they are US based Native Americans. And it's split up into 5 sections focusing on 5 different spooky creatures, spirits, witches, and several others. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and the way the book is set up is he gives you an intro into the particular topic he's going to go into. Not only does he share stories that he knows and has been told over time and passed on through the generations, but he shares a people that he's visited and different native groups that he's visited. So you get a broad perspective of stories. And he'll tell you what tribe it's from, who told the story, and he might give you a little bit of info if he feels it's necessary. There's also illustrations dispersed throughout. I thought that the illustrations really matched the tone really well. The art was beautiful, and on top of that, it was just like a culturally enriching experience, and it was perfect for October, for spooky season, because you could just read a couple of the stories a night, and I found that to be perfect and wonderful, and I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend picking it up. It would also be a great readathon book because you could space it out over whatever the time frame of your readathon is. You don't have to read it all in one day because the stories have a finite end, and I really enjoyed that. And it was very atmospheric along with being educational. So I will see y'all later. And what is a 4 or 5 star read or a book you really enjoyed that you've read recently? And let that be known in the comments below, and I will see y'all later. Bye y'all.